Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up, guys? Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we are going to be discussing a little bit about The Mandalorian. Let's go ahead and hop right on into it. Exactly why are the Mandalorian episodes, well, why do they feel so short, was recently revealed and discussed by one of the stars on the show. Also, what would this mean for the future of the franchise and even other Star Wars Disney Plus live-action shows going forward? Many fans have often wondered why The Mandalorian features such short episodes, short and sweet, and Bo-Katan Kryze star Katie Sackhoff recently revealed why. The Mandalorian is one of the most popular shows in Disney Plus and in its library, and maybe even in the world, and viewers recently saw the conclusion to Season 3 a little bit earlier this year, of course. However, despite its importance to the Star Wars universe, many had pointed out over the course of the first 3 seasons that most episodes are entirely too short. And before we continue, I do want you to ask yourself, are they actually too short, or do they just feel too short, and that you're wanting more? Anyway, on the second episode of Katie Sackhoff's new podcast, Blah Blah Blah, as it's titled, Katie Sackhoff was joined by Bryce Dallas Howard to talk about The Mandalorian. Bryce Dallas Howard, of course, being one of the many talented directors, to have worked on some of the greatest and best episodes of The Mandalorian. Howard stated in the conversation how it's so fun for her to work on projects that have such a cultural impact, and how those projects require so many people to even make them possible. Saying that in full quote, it's so fun to get to be a part of stories like Spider-Man, because it's very meaningful to people, right? But also because it requires so many people to achieve it, right? And the kind of animatronics, the mix of visual effects, practical effects, cinema, performance, and so many different kinds of people need to come together in order for it to all work. Because like engineers and artists, it's really, really, really amazing when it all does and it all works. Ending that quote right there. I really think what Bryce Dallas Howard is trying to get at here in this quote is that maybe part of the reason of why these episodes are so short is because they take so much time, so much energy, and so much money that goes into them to make them so great. And so when you take all these things, you mix them into one thing, there's a lot of work that goes into these episodes for them to be top notch. If they were any longer, then they'd be losing a lot of quality. And I think that, well, basing it from an MCU standpoint of some of the recent projects, shows, and movies for what Marvel has done, if you are a Marvel fan, I have my Marvel channel linked in the description down below, is that a lot of fans, including myself, have talked about wanting and preferring to have quality over quantity. And that's exactly what Star Wars and Lucasfilm has been doing. Katie Sackhoff then chimed in and talked specifically about The Mandalorian, revealing that there are so many moving parts, which is why the episode runtimes are shorter, as I had kind of just mentioned there. She says that in full quote, and it works. That's why I tell people that Mando is like, they're always so confused, why it takes so long for us to shoot, and why the episodes are, in their minds, so short. And I'm like, there are so many moving parts to this that you have no idea. Ending that quote right there. Exactly pretty much what I just said into response to what Bryce Dallas Howard, the director of many great episodes of The Mandalorian, had kind of been teasing and poking at, is that there's a lot of moving parts. I think it's the perfect wording for describing this that goes into this project of The Mandalorian that makes it so great. And as I had mentioned, if they were any longer, then they'd be losing quality at that. And well, I think we can speak for just about all of us of when I say quality over quantity. For context, Season 1 of The Mandalorian has an average episode runtime of 39 minutes. Season 2 episodes average around 40 minutes long, and Season 3 sits at 42.5 minutes per episode. So it is getting a little bit longer by the minute at that as we go on each season, which is better than nothing. And do mind you though that that is simply an average. Following the release of each batch of episodes and seasons, one of the more major complaints from fans is those runtimes, with many believing that they should be closer to an hour in length, especially as they're advertised, I think, to a point of being closer to an hour, when they cut short to anywhere from 30 minutes to 45 minutes. They're always kind of described and always marketed, as I had mentioned, to be closer to about an hour long, and they always seem to fall short of it. That's really my only complaint, though. Katie Sackhoff then had stated that it's actually surprising that the cast and crew complete filming as fast as they even do. As she says, quote, "We're lucky that we finish as fast as we do. We're rushed all the time, and the fact that we finish is crazy." Ending that quote right there. It has a lot of moving parts, I think, as I mentioned, and kind of reiterating it, that a show and a project of this quality should take a lot longer than they really do. And so, as previously mentioned, fans usually claim that episodes of The Mandalorian aren't long enough, not giving the show a chance to really breathe at that, and really get to see the light of day, and for it to really fill up, well, the fans' time. However, when taking into consideration what goes on in these episodes, a case can be made that longer episodes would actually hurt the show more than help it. This is also a common argument, I think, that comes up when people complain about the runtime, is that does the story really need a longer runtime? And the answer just about every other time is, well, no. I do think for season 3 they could have explained and expanded on some more plot threads here and there, because into the regards of plot details and narratives of season 3, there's a lot going on. You're dealing with a lot of different characters, so to have maybe gave that more time to expand and actually explain it a little bit more would have been nice, but not completely necessary, make or break it exactly. From the time of an episode's cold open begins until the end credits roll, the cast and crew are telling a story, and all of these smaller stories come together to create a larger one within each season, of course. If the writers and directors were to continue shooting and draw out the scripts just for the sake of hitting that 1 hour mark, each episode would contain what many claim to be filler, of course, which would ultimately take fans out of the experience and make people stop wanting to even watch it, because they're just filling it up with nonsense and nothing that really needs to be there. Sure, some episodes probably could afford to last a few minutes longer, as I had mentioned, for the sake of storytelling and maybe explaining some things a little bit better and making everything come together more smoothly, but for the most part, the crew tells the stories that they want to tell in a runtime that fits them. I think that it's really interesting to see some cast and crew members, the directors, Bryce Dallas Howard out of all people, and Katie Sackhoff actually discussing this, I think is very interesting, very cool. It shows just about how much of a Star Wars fans that they are themselves, which I take a lot of hope for that. I really can't wait to see these two in future Star Wars projects, working on future Star Wars projects for The Mandalorian and in the Mandoverse is going to be great, guys. Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. What do you think about the runtimes of The Mandalorian going forward? Do you think that they're going to be longer, shorter, stay the same? I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching today's video, guys. Have a great one. This has been Unofficial Star Wars. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.